Hey, it's Todd. Welcome to this Wednesday video here in the Unleashed Unstoppable group. I hope that your week's been great so far. And I hope that you enjoyed the last video that I did last week on overcoming adversity and getting growth from the challenges that we go through. Now, as you can see, the setting is different. I've got my trusty whiteboard behind me here at the office, and I'm going to doodle on it. And I apologize in advance for the mess that's about to happen on the board behind me, but that's just how I am and I ain't going to change. So, today's video is very important. It's something I've pondered quite a lot. And it's all about this dabbling versus mastery mindset and how that directly affects our lives and how we can put ourselves through a whole lot of suffering just because we're not prepared to push through the toughness and consistently put in the effort in order to reap the reward of our workings later on. And I want to talk about that right now. And I'm going to draw it up here and then we're going to discuss what this means because it's extremely important. And the fact is that if you allow yourself to be the kind of person that does dabble, that does jump from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and never gains true mastery, then your life is always going to be chaotic and it's just not good. And unfortunately, in the society that we live in today is that, you know, the internet probably perpetuates this and makes it a lot worse. We live in a light bulb society where I can flick on a light bulb and boom, instantly I've got light. I don't need to go and get a candle and light the candle and light each candle in the street like they would have done in the 1800s or whatever it might have been. I don't have to wait. Things happen very quick. And as a result, you know, it's funny, we live in this society where everyone's talking about tolerance and tolerate this and tolerate that, but they can't tolerate waiting and being patient and actually putting in effort to get a reward later. I feel like we've really dug ourselves a hole and shot ourselves in the foot as a culture in that, you know, we give people something like a reward, right? A participation medal just for participating in something. And the problem with that is number one, it makes you feel bad. You know you didn't do a good job and here you are getting a reward. But number two, it makes you feel entitled that you should get something without putting in work. The fact is life doesn't work like that. That's cool being a child. And the fact is nobody wants to hire a 35-year-old child. All right, they want to hire an adult that can perform and they can achieve something. So it's important that we put in the work, and it doesn't matter where you are in your life right now, whether you're, 20, whether you're 19, whether you're 15, whether you're 30, doesn't matter if you're 40, right? The fact is that we can always put in effort and work and reap a reward, like the diagram that I'm about to show you in a second. I think it really does highlight it quite well. And like if you went back to ancient Greece, pick a time, pick a date, ancient Greece, where you were a young lad, you're gonna go out and get a trade, yeah? What you'd do is you'd find a teacher. You'd live with the teacher. That teacher would teach you everything there is to know about that thing that you're learning. And like you knew that at the start, things were gonna be tough. In fact, it kind of looks like this, and I hope you can see this. At the start, you know there was gonna be a lot of toughness, right? There's gonna be tough times to begin with as you proceeded to become a master of your craft. And what you've got then is this axis going along here, which represents time. Now, the way it looks is like this, and this is really important, and then we'll discuss this in a moment. But at the beginning of your apprenticeship, like you knew that things weren't going to be easy. But back in ancient Greece, you just knew that over time, the degree of toughness was going to decrease, right? It was going to decrease. So this line here represents the degree of pain, discomfort, and also the degree of effort being put in on a consistent basis. Aristotle says that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Therefore, if you want to become good at something, you repeatedly do it and then you become a master, which is what it was all about, becoming a master of your trade, a master of your craft back in ancient Greece. Now, you knew that if you went and got that apprenticeship, all right, so at the same time as when you knew that right at the beginning, right, you've got all this pressure right here at the start. That was how tough it was. You didn't know what you were doing. You felt uncomfortable, right? You felt weird. It's funny because they say that you have to first become a fool in order to become a master. And if you aren't prepared to be a fool, then you will never become a master because you will be foolish when you start doing something for the first time. You will make mistakes. You will get it wrong. And that's okay. See, people knew this back in the day, but today it's like we don't want to be a fool. Therefore, you will never become a master. I want you to understand this. Now, at the same time as you've got this pain and discomfort over time, this is time, right? So over time, you've got this pain and discomfort decreasing. At the exact same time, what you've got coming up from the bottom is you've got the rewards, right? shit, wrong color, let's use purple. So at the same time, you've got these rewards coming up here. And what happens though, is that the rewards intersect with the pain and discomfort at some point in the future. And that's then what this looks like. So you've got reward or pleasure over time, going up, 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 to the point where you've got this point of conversion, right? This is a point of conversion. And what happens here is that the pain and discomfort that you initially feel from doing something new, becoming a master, gets to the point where that then changes, right? It converts from pain, discomfort, and effort into rewards for all of my trials and stuff that I've done, right? And this is really important. I want to discuss this right now. We live in a society, right, as I said, where we expect rewards really, really quickly. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't prepared to feel the pain and discomfort of, number one, being a fool, and they're not prepared to consistently put in the effort to actually hit this conversion point. This is very important. In order to do anything in life, to have a life that is meaningful, in order to like, because see, people talk about purpose and passion, and I want to do something I'm passionate about. I don't know what I'm passionate about. Like, that's normal. You don't just wake up one day and go, boom, I'm passionate about this thing. Boom, this thing is my purpose. We discover our purpose through trial and error. We discover what our purpose right now is through actually being interested in something. How do I be passionate about something? Well, number one, you become interested. Number two, when you become interested, often you obsess. And then as you obsess, you become the person that tinkers and you trial and error, and you get so involved and you love it so much that you become good at it. And when you become good at it, now you've got a passion. Now you've got something that you actually fills you with fire and you're excited about. And we always have to make sacrifices, right? See, this initial phase right here, as you can see, what's the biggest part on this diagram here? There's a lot of pain and discomfort up front. There's going to be, let's say it's a business, right? There is going to be time where you're not going to be able to go and party with your mates. You have to stay in and work on that business plan. You have to say no to going and having drinks with the ladies. You have to, there's things you have to give up right now in order to get to this conversion point. And then once you get to the conversion point, boom, as you can see, the pain continues to decrease and the effort and the discomfort. And what happens is, in relationship to that exact thing that you're working towards, the rewards then start to go through the roof. And the problem that people have is that everybody wants to be here or they want to be here. All right? They all want to be here or they want to be here without first doing the hard stuff, without first making the sacrifices. And understand this clearly. We are always making sacrifices, all right? The thing is that either you'll get this done now or you're going to suffer later when you have to do it anyway. It's like the whole thing where you know that you've got something you need to do, but instead you're sitting there watching Netflix and you're binging on that instead. It's like, yeah, great. The problem with that is that you're sacrificing yourself right there. And what happens is later on, you're accruing interest, right? The interest is accruing. So the chaos and the pain that grows from you not taking action and getting things done, it grows and you collect interest to the point where you have to get it done at some point anyway. So, you know, either experience the pain now or experience the pain later on when it's tenfold. And I don't know about you, but a smart choice to me is that, hey, I'm going to make the effort right now so that later on I can get the rewards and things like that. And this does take a slightly different way of thinking compared to how a lot of people think these days, because a lot of people are conditioned to, you know, they want to stay young. They want to go out. I see this all the time. I see blokes going out and they're partying every single weekend with their mates. It's like, yeah, that's cool. That's okay. Like maybe mummy and daddy's got money and money's not a thing for you, so you don't have to put the work in. That's a possibility. Maybe you don't know what you want to do. And like as a result, you just go out and you fill this void. Because understand this, like what we do often with work makes a big part of who we are. Like when you meet someone, you walk up and say, hey, I'm Todd, you are? You go, blah, I go, oh cool, what do you do with yourself? And quite often, what do you talk about? You talk about work, right? So it's important that we fill our lives with the things that we want. And the fact is that anything that's worth having is worth working for. And if you're not prepared to put in the work, then what's going to happen is you're always going to be at the start. Everything, anything, from starting a business, to having a good job, to getting a degree, to learning something, right? Wisdom comes from experience. Knowledge and learning is a precursor to wisdom. And we take knowledge and we mix that with experience, and then that becomes wisdom, right? And it's like, if you don't put in this work here, you're always going to be starting here. And like, you don't want to be 35 and have to go and do this all again. It's like, put in the work, all right? Stop being a child, stop being an infant, if you would, and put in the work. And it's like people have this aversion to wanting to become an actual adult these days. And it's like they want to be forever young. They want to be Peter Pan. They never want to grow up. And the fact is that's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for your life. It's not good for your family. So it's like, right now is the best time to take this on board and understand that, just make a decision about what you want to do. And understand right from the start that there's going to be immense discomfort, pain, and effort that you have to put in to begin with. But as time goes along, and the rewards for that are going to be very, very little as well at the start. So prepare yourself, brace yourself, understand that whatever it is that you want to do in life, okay, whether it's getting a healthy body, whether it's having a great relationship, whether it's starting a business that makes $1 million a year, whatever it is, in the beginning, the pain, discomfort, and effort is going to far exceed the rewards. But as you just persist, as you make the appropriate sacrifices, as you prioritize your actions and behaviors accordingly, what happens is you get to a conversion point. And at that stage there, boom, the discomfort, the pain, and the amount of effort you have to put in order to reap a great reward, it goes in opposite directions. But you have to first make the decision. You have to first make the decision that you actually do want to make your life into something amazing. And once you do that, find something that you want to do. Make the sacrifice. Like, through my 20s, like when I was like 20, I made a decision that I'm gonna work my fucking ass off to become good at certain things, so that I could, have a business that I want, so I could have the kind of finances that I want, so I could have the kind of life that I want. And like, I really don't go out and party. And like, I lost that urge way back in like when I was like 21. I lost that urge, and it was replaced with a fierce desire to just learn, become the best that I can be. I invest in myself. I invest in my education. I'm always learning something. I'm always pushing myself into places of discomfort so that I can grow and reap the reward. And everything's different. Some reward cycles are short, some are extended, right? Sometimes you want to become a doctor. What are you doing? 7 years, 7 to 10 years worth of pain, discomfort, not as much money as you should be, but boom, it's a point of conversion where that reward goes through the roof. And you're laughing. The amount of discomfort, pain, and effort goes down. And next thing you know, you're a specialist. You're doing like 2 consults a day and you're making like $200,000 a year. But that's all the way up here. You don't get there without first putting in all the hard work. Anyway, that's my video for today. I think it's a groovy concept, which is the whole concept of pain, discomfort, and effort versus reward, and how they convert at some point in time that then gives you tremendous rewards with little effort. Anyway, take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.